Welcome, everybody. It is the Paul Rodriguez Show. Today is the 30th of August, 2021. Producer James in the building, Mr. West Washington, joining us live via DFW Fort Worth. Is that right? I don't want to give you exact location.
Plano.
Dallas. Okay. All right. So, hi, Wes. How you feeling? Welcome. The weekend was fun. I'm technically still on vacation, doing the show tonight. How was your weekend, brother?
It was good, a little hectic. Had to say a lot of goodbyes to everybody in Austin. You know, a little sad to leave Austin. I was born and raised there.
I saw you had a really great looking going away cake. How was that, man? And who made that for you?
Oh, so Arlene at Reverend on the Boulevard, she made the cake. It was a red velvet cake, and then the lettering on there was white chocolate. I mean, it was a really good cake.
Yeah, it looked pretty dang good whenever I saw it on Facebook. Also joining us, producer James is in the building. Hey man, I know you had a long day today. How are you feeling outside of the 16 hours you've been at the 9 to 5?
Yeah, I'm feeling good, man. I had a pretty great weekend. It was busy and it was tiring, but my highlight of the weekend was Friday night, of course, being
What'd you do Friday night?
Being doing some sideline reporting for a recon athlete.
Shout out
Lockhart Lions, man. I had a really great time.
Did they win?
Yes, they did.
Oh, so for y'all don't know, we're gonna go live. We're gonna record tonight on Recon Athlete, the other channel, and we'll have a little recap of the Lions' victory. We'll also have a special guest tune in to find out who that special guest is. But let's get to it. College football kicked off Saturday. Everybody was picking Nebraska to cover the 7 points. Wes, did you get to watch that Nebraska-Illinois game? And what did you think of the Illinois Fighting Illini led by Brett Bielema? What were your thoughts on that victory?
I thought it was a pretty ugly game.
It was.
Just two teams that just don't look like they're gonna. I mean, I think that was probably both of those teams' best chance to win games this year. To tell you the truth, I don't know how many games they're gonna win outside of that chance right there. Scott Frost just can't seem to get Nebraska going. There was a lot of big hope with that guy coming in, and I don't think it's going to happen. I think he wishes he was back at Central Florida with that national championship.
I looked at Frost and I looked at his team and I looked at, it just seems like he can't get the recruits that he was able to capture at Central Florida. And I started thinking to myself, like, what are the academic standards for Nebraska compared to like Central Florida? And you really have to think, like, you got to be a warm body to get into Nebraska, you would think, right? Or am I maybe missing something compared to, like, the academic standards have to be pretty equal, Nebraska to Central Florida, I would assume, wouldn't you?
I would think so. I mean, you don't see, because sometimes you see a school and you see, like, at least they're playing harder.
Right.
They're keeping the games closer. But, I mean, it just seems like they're not giving the effort. They're not. I mean, the days of what was it, the black shirt defense?
Yeah,
gone, buddy.
Yeah, they did. Their defense was. It really didn't even seem like they started playing until the third quarter in that Nebraska game, and Illinois had jumped up to an early lead, and there was a safety in the first quarter that Nebraska gave up, or I believe the Illini gave up, and so it's just like off the rails pretty early, but. A few other games that were going on Saturday night, in addition to the NFL football, which we'll get into with the preseason. UTEP at New Mexico State, I believe. UTEP ran away with that one. I wonder how things are going to fare for them as they move forward. That's probably going to be one of their only victories this year, similar to Illinois and Nebraska. But anytime, did you get to watch that at all? I mean, it was a little bit later in the evening. Not sure what you had going on.
Yeah, I had a lot of running around, so I didn't really get to watch any games. I just kind of saw highlights and stuff like that. I'm waiting for more this weekend. I think this coming Saturday, I think you're gonna have your better matchups. I think that Texas Louisiana game is going to be a pretty good game. I don't see the Longhorns walking away with that too easily.
Well, Horns 24/7 reported Saturday that Hudson Card is named the official starter for the Horns. Now, the Raging Cajuns are probably one of the better teams in the Sun Belt. I follow the Texas State Bobcats, shout out, but the Raging Cajuns usually dominate them and also Arkansas State. And so you think this is going to be a tough challenge for the Horns opening weekend?
Just to start off with a game, against a ranked team when you're coming off a rough season, I mean, I wouldn't say it's a freshman quarterback, but he's basically a rookie. This is his first shot. So, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see him shake the cobwebs and actually, see what he's got.
What I'm kind of looking forward to with Hudson Card, with him being named the starter over Casey Thompson, led me to two things. Number one, Hudson Card is probably more astute to handle a pro-style offense that Sarkisian's going to be administering. And that also lets me know that Thompson probably can't make the reads on the defense. Now, with the pro-style offense, I think it's going to benefit Hudson Cards, especially with his mobility. At the same time, like if he's more of an accurate passer, which he is out of the two between him and Thompson, that is also going to be another benefit in feathering his cap. But I really think that this offense that Sarkisian's going to bring to play against the Raging Cajuns is going to be something they'll never see probably the rest of the time those players are in their collegiate careers, just because I think it's so advanced. I think it's something that unless you play in the Big Ten or you play in the SEC, you're not getting pro-style offenses brought to your table week in and week out. And so to me, I think that's the biggest advantage. Also, in addition with, Bijan being able to like run the ball, Heisman Trophy candidate this coming year, or Bijan Robinson, excuse me. I kind of got that name tore up, but I see you have on. Are you wearing burnt orange right now? Is that what's going to be going on?
Don't insult me like that.
I had to ask the question. I saw the shirt.
Come on, Paul.
I know you're a Razorback fan. That's why I had to ask.
No, no.
It could be the lighting,
I'm gonna
right?
have to burn this shirt now because you said that.
Yeah, I thought he was missing Austin already.
I thought so too.
No. Burnt orange, man. It makes my skin burn.
So let's get into the SEC. Who is Arkansas playing this weekend?
Ooh, that's a good question.
I thought the super fan would have been all over that one.
I've been moving, man. I've been kind of busy trying to get my fantasy football, looking at all the trades BJ sent me. It takes a lot of time.
We're definitely going to get into that nonsense as we move forward. But the SEC matchup this weekend that the Arkansas Razorbacks will be taking on is Rice University out of Houston. Currently, Arkansas is favored by 19.5 points. Is that too big of an expectation, or do you think they're right on point taking on a smaller conference Rice University squad?
Oh, I definitely think that. I mean, that's what they need to beat Rice by.
Yeah.
If they're moving forward, if they're getting better, they need to blow Rice out. I think anything less than I say 20 is almost a letdown, just because if they want to compete in the SEC, especially going forward when you got Texas and Oklahoma coming in,
right?
You can't mess around with Rice.
Another big matchup before we get to Alabama, Miami. Georgia taking on Clemson, 6:30 on ABC. Clemson favored by 3 points. New quarterback. Trevor Lawrence is in Jacksonville. Georgia has a new quarterback. Well, they're not really new, but lesser known. And, of course, you have Clemson's, big Samoan quarterback. I don't want to butcher his name, so I don't want to disrespect the man.
DJ something, right?
Yeah, DJ. I'm not gonna attempt it until I get it 100% nailed down. But Dabo's got to be feeling good. This game's going to be in Death Valley. He's going to have his Tigers ready to go after the disappointment ending that they had last year. How is 3 points? This is a flip. This is a pick 'em practically, with Georgia going over to Clemson.
Oh, I definitely the 3 points. I mean, I think that's pretty good. Vegas is good at it. They're good at pulling that guessing these games, and I like the matchup just because it's two good schools, but yet and still this is their first outing, so can't really you got to work that get that magic going, get that machine going, and so it's just going to be interesting to see how these teams take it on because they're playing a tough team as their first outing. They don't have that confidence yet of like beating up on one school before they go into this big matchup.
Now, this weekend, we could label it a lot of ways. We could label it the SEC versus the ACC. We could label this as, Southeastern powers going to war, or we could call it the Axis versus the Alliance, because the ACC has formed an unofficial alliance with the Big Ten and the Pac-12, and the SEC is bringing in two of the more predominantly legacy programs with Oklahoma and Texas. When they'll enter will be determined, probably 2025, if not earlier. So here we go. Miami in South Florida, 305, Dade County. Alabama is favored by, what is that line? 18 and a half points on the road. That's a lot of points for a number 1 ranked team versus a number 14 ranked team. But dumber things have happened.
I think Miami's a little overranked. I just don't.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I don't see where they think they're good at. I don't think they're that good defensively, and I don't think they're good with the quarterback play. I mean, that defense, how many yards did they give up against North Carolina? Almost 400 yards.
Now, they only do have 5 starters coming back on the offensive side of the ball. And for defense, I don't know how many they're coming back at all. But we have to really kind of think to ourselves, is this the year that Saban's had number 1 first-round quarterbacks 3 out of the last 4, well, we could say really 4 out of the last 4 years, with Hurts and with Tua. So you have Mac Jones come back at the same time last year during the COVID season, which they just played they all SEC schedule. Now they have an incoming redshirt freshman who's going to have to take the wheel without Steve Sarkisian to mentor him. And to be honest with you, I don't know who the offense coordinator is. I know, Bill O'Brien is the offensive, he is the offense coordinator. Bill O'Brien, the former Houston Texan head coach. What type of offense will they be running? Will it be pro style? Will it be, how McDaniels does in New England? Is it going to be more or dumbed down? How are things going to be more in tune with maybe a college vibe moving forward for Alabama? I'm not too worried about them on defense. I'm worried, will they be able to keep up with the high-powered offenses that are going to be coming to the SEC?
I just think it's gonna be typical Alabama, run the ball, play action, and throw it deep.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what makes it easier for these quarterbacks, is that nobody can really sit there and rush them because of the running game, and I think it makes these guys look really good because they can run the ball, and they're gonna run the ball, and so it just opens up that passing game.
Let's transition. No, you got something else?
Yeah, I mean, how many times do you see an Alabama quarterback having to toss it in the tight windows? A lot of times they're throwing it to dudes down the field wide open.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's mainly due to when you have guys like, Jerry Jeudy, you have Waddle, you have Ruggs, you have Devontae Smith. Those are high prolific first round caliber wide receivers, and that's just due to the coaching and recruiting of Saban. So we really don't get to see how accurate those quarterbacks are at Alabama. But, I mean, Jalen Hurts is a starting quarterback in the NFL. Tua Tagovailoa is a starting quarterback. Mac Jones is probably going to be a starting quarterback for the Patriots. So they seem to be able to transition to the NFL in a more seamless way. But I factor that towards Sarkisian. And that's what I'm saying. I think that's the challenge, is the quarterback play this year. But I don't know if they'll be able to hang, like you say, the old school, the 2010s Alabama Crimson Tide, where we can pound you with our offensive line and run the ball when we had Derrick Henry, Mark Ingram, pick your name at the running back position. I don't think the offense is going to be able to keep up.
It's Saban. He just reloads and reloads and reloads, and then you go, all these guys are gone, and then next thing you're like, well, where'd this guy come from?
Yeah,
it just reloads.
I think the team that's really going to give them the most trouble this year is going to be the Aggies. If there's going to be a year the Aggies get them, it's this year because I think Alabama's weak on offense this year. But time will tell. We'll see. But you think they cover that 18.5 against Miami?
Oh yeah,
Easily?
Yeah, I don't see. I just don't have a lot of respect for Miami. Especially
with De'Aaron
Diaz.
King.
I think Diaz is just not. I don't think he's a. I never saw that. I don't understand why the guy's a defensive coordinator. When has he had a good defense?
Well, he hasn't had a good defense since I think he was at Miami as a D coordinator.
So way before Texas.
Yeah, before that's why he got that job was because of what he did at Miami.
Yeah. So
speaking of Texas,
I think the toughest. I think Bama's toughest team is going to be LSU. Watch out for LSU. I think they're going to be back.
Joe Brady's not the old coordinator, and I couldn't even tell you who the quarterback is.
I just think they're going to be back.
All right. I like it. Let's take a break real quick. 54 minutes after the hour. When we come back, we'll dip into the NFL preseason for a bit before we transition over to Recon Athlete. We'll be back. Welcome back, everybody. It is the Paul Rodriguez Show. Let's go ahead and jump into the preseason action, and then we'll do a little preview of the kickoff show, the kickoff game, Thursday night football. Drew Brees was on Sunday Night Football last night with Collinsworth and Michaels. I thought he was getting the Sunday night job. Am I wrong, or is it the Thursday job?
I think it's a Sunday night.
I think it's because he was. Why wasn't he there with Michaels or Collinsworth by themselves?
I could have swore I saw a post that saying that he was going to be the newest member of the Sunday night crew.
So they're going to have a trio. It's not going to be a duo.
He's breaking them up.
Michaels needs to retire. He's had his time. What do you think? What do you think about? Do you like Collinsworth? Because I'm not a fan.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Collinsworth. I think sometimes, I mean, I like Collinsworth better than I like what's his name?
Which one?
With Aikman.
Joe Buck.
Joe Buck.
Yeah, but he's a legacy man. Like his dad was in the business, and like that's kind of why he's there. His wife is also a reporter in the business, so like he's connected. But the one, have you ever seen Jonathan Vilma do a broadcast?
No, I have not.
Don't, man. It is a snore fest.
I got the scoop, Paul.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so it says here, according to Bleacher Report, NBC Sports is adding former New Orleans Saints star Drew Brees and Maria Taylor to its Football Night in America crew. Brees will work alongside Mike Tirico and Tony Dungy, while Taylor will serve as a co-host in the studio for the weekly program.
So Maria Taylor's going to be a co-host.
Football Night in America
In studio.
That's like the pregame show to the Sunday night.
So who's the pregame show with?
It says, so Brees will work alongside Mike Tirico and Tony Dungy in the studio. And then it says Taylor.
You mean in the booth?
No. That's the pregame.
Yeah, it's the pregame. Football Night in America. That's like how they like run down they run down like the day's games.
Yeah.
While they also hype you up for Sunday night.
Okay. So I thought Drew Brees was going to a booth.
That's what I thought too, but I mean it says right here.
And this is Bleacher Report.
It's a studio desk. Yeah, Bleacher Report.
Bleacher Report's also been known to fuck shit up.
Studio desk. Taylor, Brees, Tony Dungy. Yeah. Reporters at the game, Rodney Harrison, Jack Collinsworth, News, Mike Florio.
So who's in the booth? Collinsworth and Michaels?
Yeah, nothing's changed in the booth.
So who's the anchor on the show? Who else is working with Taylor, Brees, and Dungy? There's got to be an anchor, the host.
Tirico is the anchor.
Oh, Tirico.
Yeah, Mike Tirico. Yeah.
Oh, man, I don't know. I don't know if people are going to like that.
People or you?
I kind of like it.
I don't know if people are going to like that.
Why?
Huh?
I don't know. I don't think Maria Tilly needs to be there.
That's the one coming over from ESPN?
Yeah, she came from ESPN.
Yeah.
What do you think? Do you think she needs to be there? That's what we do on these shows.
I mean, I think they need that female there, and I think she was a hire that needed to be done because of how she was treated at ESPN. So I think it's kind of a sympathy hire, but I don't think she's bad.
I think she would do a lot better on their college football coverage because that's what she was doing. She did Game Day, and I thought she did really well with Game Day because she's a young, beautiful, very great personality female, and I just don't understand, like, I think she'd do better ratings on the college production for CBS or for NBC than she would do for college football or pro football. What?
Who you on at the NFL? Holly Rowe?
No. We need some new blood at the NBC and CBS. Like Tracy Wolfson, I think it's time to retire. Holly Rowe, it's time to retire. Michelle Tafoya, it's definitely time to retire.
Don't you dare say Pam Oliver.
Pam Oliver, I'm sorry, sweetheart, it's time to retire. But seriously, like, what about what's her name? Thompson, Christina Thompson. She does the pre-show for Sunday mornings on the NFL Fox. Do y'all know who I'm talking about?
No. What's her name?
I think it's like Christina or Krista Thompson. I think she would be better on a host as an anchor. Well, why? How come Maria can't anchor it? That's kind of where I'm at with it. It's like Maria would be a better host than Tirico.
You can't take Mike Tirico's job.
Well, then that's my point. Carissa Thompson. I'm sorry, Carissa Thompson.
Correct.
She would do. I think she'd do really well. But see, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think Maria Taylor has earned her stripes for pro ball yet. That's just where I'm at with it. I think she would do great with college coverage.
You know why she's there?
She's just doing sideline though. I mean,
no, bro, she's in the studio with Brees and Dungy. She's considered an analyst.
Yeah.
She's not sideline reporting. They got Harrison. They got the former Pro Bowler doing sideline reporting. Right?
Yeah, it is kind of weird. It seemed like that should be switched. I thought Harrison was still in the studio.
And
then they had
right. So Drew Brees replaced shitty ass Chris Sims. Thank God for that. And then Harrison got replaced by Maria Taylor. How do you make sense of that? I don't know. All right, let's get into preseason football. We'll probably get kicked off YouTube for what we just talked about, but I don't give a shit. All right, but back to the story, back to the preseason. Takeaways from Dallas against Jacksonville Saturday or Sunday noon. What were your thoughts of that game?
My thoughts is Dallas has no depth.
At what position?
At any position.
At quarterback.
I mean, I'd say they probably got depth at running back and
offensive line. That's it.
After that, it's slim pickings. They made Trevor Lawrence look good, man. Sunshine came out. He looked good. He looked a lot better against the Cowboys than he did against the Saints.
Yeah, man, he really did. My biggest takeaway was the depth and I think maybe Dan Quinn, when he got COVID last week, I think maybe he's still maybe a little under the weather. And so the defense looked like basic. It looked rudimentary. It looked like nobody had any kind of scheme to pass rush. And if you don't put pressure on a young quarterback, he's going to make you look dumb. And that's what happened. Yeah. I don't know. Anything else? Hey, man, did you see Buffalo with Josh Allen? Did you see any of those highlights?
No, I missed them. But my thing is, I don't understand. Did we talk about this? Why the backup quarterbacks for the Cowboys are so horrible when there seems to be.
We did a whole segment on this last week. We did. We said the backup quarterback for Dallas is not on that team. And I went through. I had a fantasy retreat weekend this past weekend. And I was telling all my buddies, I go, the backup quarterback is not on the Cowboys roster. He's just not. Why do you think Philadelphia went and got Minshew to give a big middle finger to the Cowboys? Because everybody in the NFC East knows the Cowboys do not have a backup. So they submit. Philly was like, oh, let's go get Minshew so Dallas doesn't get him. What are the Redskins going to do next? Go get Foles so Dallas doesn't get Foles from Chicago? Yeah, those are the only two options I see available. Unless they go get Chase Daniels.
I mean,
yeah, well, it'll be worse than last year, which may be a good thing because maybe then they'll go after a big quarterback if they have a higher pick. Just think about this. Think if Dallas doesn't beat. Let's see if Dallas record should have ended at 4-12 last year. They would have been right in position to get Trey Lance, Justin Fields, Mac Jones.
No, Jerry wouldn't have done it.
But Jerry hadn't paid Dak yet. Well, yeah, he did.
I still don't think he would have done. Jerry is very loyal to his players, so I don't think he would have done that. He likes Dak a lot, so I think he would feel bad and feel like he was hurting Dak's feelings if he would have taken somebody like that. And I don't think Jerry would do that.
Let me ask you this hypothetical question: if Dak doesn't break his leg and bring the Cowboy faithful to uncontrollable sobbing, does he get that contract extension? I don't think so.
Really?
Because when Dak had when the emotional, hell, even Jerry's daughter, when she saw the injury, she gasped and turned around to hug somebody in Jerry's suite. I remember seeing that. I remember seeing the dude bawling his eyes out while his girlfriend's trying to console him in the stands. I remember what really capped it all off was when Dak was being carted off of the field with tears in his eyes, rolling down his cheeks, and he sticks his fists up in the air in solidarity to say thank you for all the people who were concerned for him. That was then, and they panned to Jerry, and I said, Jerry's going to pay him because of that. Because what does that do? That moment tugged on the heartstrings of Dallas Cowboy faithful, and he said, I can monopolize that. I can make money off of that. What's up, Producer James?
So, I mean, if you want to speculate, like as far as, do you think Dak would have got paid had he not got hurt or whatever? I think you got to also take into accountability how the season would have went for Dak, and the Cowboys.
They only had one victory in 5 games. You think they were going to win that game?
I'm just saying.
What do you
They
think?
won that game, didn't they?
No, they lost to the Giants.
No, they won that game.
You're telling me Andy Dalton brought them back to win?
I think Dak had on that play. I think didn't he make like a big run or something like that?
What week was
and
that?
I think
Week
he
5.
basically almost had him already in field goal range, and I think Dalton had to make maybe like a handoff and then got him in the field goal range or something like that.
34-37 final Cowboys.
Okay.
And at that point, they were 2-3. And
Why you-
New York Giants were 0-5.
The rest
Why are you
of
testing my Cowboy?
because
I
Dak,
was there. It was a big moment right
Dak-
there, man, because I knew our season was over. And then everybody's like, oh, you're all right. You got Andy Dalton. I wanted to go around and slap everybody because I'm like, Andy Dalton is horrible.
okay, let me test your Cowboy fanhood.
Oh, shit.
Is Dak the answer at quarterback? I rest my
For
case.
this season, yeah.
No, okay. Let's take it a bit further. Is Dak going to win them a Super Bowl?
I mean, it's too many things to the variables.
Okay, give me.
Is the line going to be healthy? Without a healthy line, no, Dak can't do it.
Here's
If they had the line that they had, if they could get close to the line that they had his rookie season, I think he's got a good chance to get to an NFC championship.
So that's the line that we had identified before the season started or before preseason. If the Cowboys got to a conference championship game, that would be a successful season. Would you agree?
Yes.
Okay. But that's not what Jerry signed $160 million guaranteed to Dak to do. He signed $160 million guaranteed to go win a Super Bowl. Now, for all of us who maybe are not as blindly going to follow behind Dak,
Dak can't put that much pressure on his shoulders. When he throws the ball that many times, it's not a good thing. So he needs a line where he can run the ball. Zeke's got to run for a bunch of yards. And they got to have a line, and they don't have a line. They got to have the full package.
They're not the Cleveland Browns. And if they're not going to be the Cleveland Browns, they're not going to be successful. I can't believe we're comparing the Cleveland Browns to Dallas Cowboys or vice versa.
Well, everybody wants to talk about the 90s and what they did in the 90s. And what they did in the 90s.
But there was no salary cap in the 90s. That's why they could do it.
Aikman wasn't chunking the ball 50 times a game.
Yeah, but the offenses weren't engineered to be throwing 40, 50 times a game like they are today. That's why
I get that, but you still got to run the ball better than they do. They don't run right now. They're not running the ball for shit.
It seems like everybody is understanding that's what they need to do. I think even the players and the coaches. The caveat is, like you said, will that line be healthy for 17 weeks?
Yeah.
Plus the playoffs.
Yeah.
We saw what happened to Patrick Mahomes whenever they got injured, their offensive line got injured. We saw what happened to the Green Bay Packers when Bakhtiari got hurt.
Man, I felt so bad for Patrick Mahomes against the Buccaneers. Ooh, man, he was snapping the ball, and it seemed like it was just at least 8 dudes in his face.
Yeah, and that's why they went out and rebuilt their entire offensive line because they knew this is what our Achilles heel was, and they addressed it. Do you think the Cowboys have addressed their O-line issues? I don't.
I mean, I don't. They didn't go out and get the guys I wanted. They're hoping that you get Smith back healthy. You get Connor Williams. I guess is supposed to be getting better.
We slamming Aaron Donald around apparently.
Yeah, the whole issue is that they miss Fredericks a lot. Fredericks was the heart and soul of that line.
Now, I think Biotic, the center who came out of Wisconsin 2 years ago with the 4th round pick, I think he can step up and be there. It's just I don't know if they have a guard who, because he can play guard and center. It's just like, do they have a center that could be a Pro Bowler to kind of help him out to focus on center? That's the question. I think Smith is healthy. I think La'el Collins is healthy. Williams is getting better. But can Martin stay healthy so that, or does Biotic have to kind of go down to compensate for Williams? I think right now, if Smith, Williams, Biotic, Martin, and La'el Collins can stay healthy, I think they got a really good shot. The question is, how long are they going to stay healthy?
Yeah.
So, with early prediction, Buccaneers, Cowboys, Thursday night, September 9th. A little bit of a tongue twister there. What is your expectations? We won't get your prediction. What are your expectations?
My expectations, I think it's going to be one of those typical games. Buccaneers get up big. Dak rallies them back, and then falls short late. I think that's what's going to happen.
Have you seen the over-under on that game?
No, I have not.
It's 51 points. 51. That means they want points in that game. They're expecting points. Do you think that favors Dallas or that? I think that favors Dallas because the defense for Tampa is supposed to be exceptional.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying, but I'm seeing it. I'm trying not to be this way, but I'm seeing it once again.
You can't see producer
Buccaneers get up. And then they start, talking like it's over. Dak throws a couple touchdowns.
But Tom won't let that happen. If they get up big, Tom will keep going. He'll keep getting people saying, we're not done. It's not over. He will keep going until it's double zeros. Because he's been in games like that where people come from behind and try to pull a victory.
I could also see it as, because Tom usually he hadn't been starting off too fast.
No.
So I could also see it as the Cowboys pulling out a victory, and then everybody gets in that, Tom's too old to be playing mode, and then he kind of gets that chip on his shoulder, and then he's
gonna rock the baby
playing again.
He's gonna rock the baby, and then come out and strike on everybody. He's just gonna use it. Oh, y'all remember when y'all beat us in the first week of the NFL season? Well, now it's a divisional playoff game, and we're gonna kick your ass. Yeah. That's the way Tom works.
Oh yeah, because everybody gets on him as, Tom, he's too old. You need to quit. You need to quit. Tom Brady's nothing without Belichick. I am.
All you got to do is motivate that man in the wrong way, and it's your ass, Mr. Postman.
Oh yeah, they need to give that man his respect. They never gave that man his respect because it's Belichick doing this, Belichick doing that.
I don't know.
Now what you got to say?
Mac Jones may prove Belichick right. I'm just saying. All right, guys, that's been the show. Producer James, Wes, you got anything for the people before we go?
Just everybody love everybody. That's about it. Let's make the world a better place. Hug somebody.
Producer James,
tune in Dark Side of the Mic tomorrow. Got this motherfucker. Man, I'm over here. I wish I had fucking 8 hands.
What?
James is the dark side of the mic.
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah, we had we did have Paul on West. I don't last week. I don't know if you caught him. He was over there with his little vacation hat.
That's right.
Yeah.
I had Reed Coleman's Texas Sports Outdoors fishing hat on.
Oh, nice. How was that vacation?
Hey man, don't be disrespecting the sponsors like that. What's up?
Still recovering from that vacation? You have a good time?
Yeah, man. We got rained out quite a bit, like the hurricane that kind of came through New Orleans. Thoughts and prayers to everybody out there in Louisiana, New Orleans. God be with y'all. But yeah, man, we got a lot of that residual rain and kind of rained us all out. But we still had a good time. We did our fantasy draft and dynasty draft, and RIP to your squad with J.K. Dobbins going down. T's and P's to everybody out there. We'll see how you can figure. I don't know how you can climb out of that hole. If you want to do some trades, you let me know.
Oh, you know who's already sent me trades. But yeah, I want to send a shout out definitely to my brother in Baton Rouge. He watches the show, so
praying. Yeah.
Hope everything's all right.
All right, guys. We'll see y'all maybe not till next week because James is doing Dark Side tomorrow with. You got any special guests or no?
It's in the air right now.
Okay. Y'all tune in tomorrow to see who the special guest is.
Yeah.
And if you don't, you can see producer James.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, guys. We'll see y'all probably next week. Tune on over to Dark Side. Yes, tune on over to Dark Side tomorrow. But tonight, tune on over to Recon Athlete. Just go to youtube.com/Recon Athlete. We'll be talking to our special guest, producer James, sideline reporting, give us his updates. And until then, I bid you adieu. We out.
Head on over to Spotify, search Paul Rodriguez Show. You'll see the little logo pop up. Give us a follow, turn notifications on. That way you don't miss any show that is uploaded, which is daily.